and I have several sort of working hypotheses theories. One is, first of all, Hollywood is profoundly corrupted.
Oh
And
yeah.
you say why? And you go, well, because if you want to corrupt the message, you got to corrupt the messenger. And so I have this. I think they do what I call fictionalizing reality. So they'll take something that's known, something that's true,
Hmm.
like take for example, Born Identity is MK Ultra. It is MK Ultra. The Born Identity is MK Ultra, and so you make a movie out of it. So when you hear about MK Ultra, you go, "Oh, that's the Born Identity." You've right away already anchored yourself to fiction,
Yeah.
and then Eyes Wide Shut. Right, this is
Uh-huh.
satanic cult. There's others. The Good Shepherd is CIA stuff.
Yeah.
And so they create this. The other thing they do is I don't think they corrupt powerful people. I think they corrupt people and then give them power.
Well, that's interesting you said that because he's in this chat right now. My friend Lewis, it was some TV show where he said like basically like aliens have taken over the politicians, but they made a TV show or something about it so that if it ever the plan ever got unveiled, they say, oh no, that was just a TV show, like you were saying with the Born Identity. So what's Mike X, what's the book on the border? What other books are you currently reading?
I can't remember the title, but a guy named J.J. Carrell, Carrell. I have on my to-do list to reach out to him and ask him some questions that were not covered in his book, and I suspect he knows about them and didn't cover them.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to read about, if you want to go dark in this stuff, probably the single best source is to start paying attention to what Liz Crokin,
Mm-hmm.
Crokin. She's been banging on this drum very hard. And again, it's one of these things where you get into it and you go, is it possible I've just lost my mind? Is it possible I'm just too deep and I'm falling for QAnon bullshit, which I don't even know what QAnon is, right?
Yeah.
QAnon is just a label to make you feel like an idiot. So apparently I'm QAnon. Apparently I'm QAnon. I've not been invited to a meeting yet. So I'm sitting there and now if a month ago you had said to me, who's the most famous Satanist in the world? Satanists are these weird characters, right? They do ritual sacrifice, they do all sorts of stuff. It's real Satanism.
Mm-hmm.
And they eat shit you shouldn't be eating. And I would have said, oh, that's easy. That's Marina Abramovic. She's a famous Satanist.
Oh,
And
she's
then she has these dinner parties where they pretend to eat cadavers. And you look at the dinner party, you go, wait a minute, those are famous people. Why are they sitting at a dinner party pretending to eat a cadaver? And then she talks about, cutting your finger and mixing it with semen and then drinking that. And you're going, that's getting pretty close to way too weird, right?
And Zelensky made her like the
An
ambassador
ambassador.
to. It's like it's creepy. We got
So
another.
so so
Yeah, keep
so
going, Dave.
so
I'm sorry.
so so the Zelensky thing's a real problem because I'm thinking you're too deep, Dave. You've gone nuts. And then Zelensky makes her an ambassador, not to another country. He puts her in charge of the Ukrainian school system. You find people who've been caught trafficking children. A woman named Laura Silsby got caught twice trafficking children.
She was
Got
working for
pulled.
the Clintons, huh?
She was working for the Clintons. Where does she work now? She works for the Amber Alert system.
That's weird. I saw
You
that.
just
That is
you
weird.
want to find a pedophile, find an organization that's job is to deal with children, and you will find the pedophiles there.
So, Aaron just asked a question for us. What do you think about Dr. Stephen Gray? I can't for the life of me think of who that is.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. It looks familiar, but I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, he's a UFOologist.
I'm not a
Oh,
UFO
is he
believer.
the guy?
I'm not a UFO believer.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I'm with you there.
It's the physics. It's the physics.
I think he's the guy that came out and said he had all like the meetings at Area 51 with the
No, that's another guy.
yeah, maybe that's another guy.
It's a guy in Rogan. But the problem I have with UFOs is you really have to defy the laws of physics as we know them, and you can say, okay, maybe there's an alien culture out there that, and I believe there's aliens out there by the gazillion. The universe is way too big not to have more life forms, not to have intelligent ones, but the distances are so monumental that the odds of them getting here is almost zero. And if in the micro smidgen probability they can get here, they're such superior beings, they don't give a shit about us.
Yeah, why would they come? Like if they could,
And why would they go? Why would they go kill a bunch of cows in a field in Iowa? It
yeah,
just right. The whole story. I think the alien story is again fictionalizing reality, where what they're trying to do is they want talking points, and now the Air Force is pretending like the aliens are real. And I think it's because a lot of our defense weaponry is getting very alien-like. So we've got these, autonomous drone things that they can do shit. I'm going to write about directed energy weapons this year too, and the things they can do is extraordinary. We should be afraid of them, and they're very real. They're not Star Wars.
it's like ion cannon. Yeah,
there's a lot of them. There's a lot of different ones, and then the question is, are we seeing evidence of them? If so, where, how, what's the evidence? But they're real. They're very real.
They were thinking that was Hawaii, but Aaron said that we're in contact with them and talks about how the dark agencies of Lockheed, Skunk, Works, etc., and are using the tech to human traffic. Now I know who he's talking about. Yeah, that dude did a documentary. He's supposed to be like some big whistleblower, and he's essentially saying that they were using the alien tech to traffic children. He did, man. Can't remember what podcast he was on.
I think to the extent that someone's trying to cover stuff, I think they bury the truth inside a bunch of crazy shit. Like if you go to YouTube and you search Building 7 or something, or search 9/11, you find all sorts of batshit stuff, and a sane person would watching, oh, that's crap, I'm out of here. Because the YouTube's littered with the stuff that's garbage. And so it's like if you search, Hillary Clinton death toll, right? To know the Clintons is to be a great risk of getting whacked. Huge risk. I mean, way worse than COVID. But if you search it, you just get fact checks as far as the eye can see. So I have this rule of thumb: when you start seeing a lot of fact checks, someone's hiding something.
I love when someone sends me the fact check and I'm like, who owns the fact check? You know what I'm saying? Like
they're all owned by the bad guys. They're all owned by the bad guys. Every last one of them.
Or, what's even funnier to me is like, somebody will send you a fact check, but then if you actually like read the fact check, like
sometimes
whole thing,
it doesn't check the facts.
Yeah. Sometimes it actually like makes your point, but it finds like inconsistency to like, invalidate it. And I'm just like, did you even read this? Like it's kind of crazy. But going back to Zelensky, so did you see? So he came out and he was, begging for more money, but then he said,
he's done.
He's done. You think they're gonna
well, I don't know.
Belize?
Well, I don't know what they're going to do. It's conceivable Putin and he will now get together and sign a peace deal. Or it's conceivable someone in the Azov battalion will whack them. Our former puppets tend to have a high fatality rate.
Yeah.
And so he could die.
Gaddafi, Saddam.
But I'm pretty sure that the Ukrainian story, which I wrote a lot about last year, and while the cool kids were all talking about what an evil dude Zelensky is, Putin is. I took Putin's side on this, and I wrote intensely explaining why Putin played the best hand he had, and that NATO is the problem. I put 100% of the Ukrainian war on NATO, 100%.
Yeah, if we rewind back, obviously before the craziness in the Middle East, and we rewind back to I call that like that Netflix chapter, that series, that season that was going on, the Ukraine, Russia, and you were one of the few that were really speaking out, you know what I'm saying, and really calling it. And now, like when we see
I found about 40 guys, serious players, right? Guys like Greenwald and Tucker, and there were guys who were getting the story.
Yeah.
First of all, to say Putin's an evil madman is to ignore the fact. I watched every Putin speech he ever gave. There's subtitles. People say, well, how do you know the subtitles are real? I said, well, there are people who speak Russian, so that'd be kind of a stupid scam to try to put fake subtitles, right? I watched every Putin speech. The guy is unbelievably good at that shit. And so he gets asked questions. You go, oh, that's a tough question. Then he answers. You go, oh, that was a good answer.
Yeah.
Put it this way, he's way sharper than Trudeau, Biden, Macron, Boris Johnson, these guys. And so the problem with Putin and the problem with Trump is they are the two biggest nationalists. The
Mhm.
globalists don't like nationalists.
Mhm.
So they got to take those two out.